Yes.
Dearest colleagues, welcome to the Vision Straight Masterclass series. I'm Obi Malombe, an optometrist based here in South Africa, and today it's a special one for me because I'm with one friend, colleague that I've been connected with on various social media platforms for the past few years, and today he's here in South Africa and I've got the privilege of being able to do a masterclass series with him, and that's none other than Mr. Arnoud. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you, Obi. Thank you for this video, and it's such a pleasure to be in South Africa.
No, what brings you to South Africa?
It's this contact lens conference here, and in particular the workshop with Brian Tompkins and Melissa Barnett. And yeah, so getting to know them, the biggest players here, and to introduce this product.
This is the third time that in South Africa the Contact Lens Society has managed to host the International Contact Lens Conference. The first one was in 2017, followed by one in 2019, and then obviously the pandemic happened. Yeah. We could not have one in 2021, and this is the first time then since 2019 that we get the opportunity of having the conference. And this year is so special because you are here, as you mentioned, Melissa Barnett is here, Brian Tompkins is here, and we also have Professor Philip Morgan and Sarah Morgan who are also here. I got the privilege of attending the workshop yesterday, and we're going to get into that, but it was such a powerful workshop where you demonstrated the tool that's sitting here with us here, and we're going to get that very shortly. But I wanted to get context in terms of, are you an optometrist? Because a lot of people, I don't think they are aware as to what you actually do in the eye care industry. So if you don't mind, just giving us a quick background in terms of how did you end up being in eye care and what specifically do you do?
Yeah, thank you. So I entered into eye care medtech scene in 2004.
Okay.
And first product manager for a aberrometer.
Okay.
And then later on I was product manager for the Galilei, which is a shine fluid based device in combination with Lucido.
All right.
And then in 2010 I took a sabbatical because I wanted to start my own company, and I bumped into a bunch of very brilliant engineers who had been starting to work on developing this.
Wow.
I joined up, and we spent 4 or 5 years developing before we launched it in 2015. And my background is that of being the translator between technology and the clinical side.
Wow.
Is making sure that what the device does is actually clinically relevant, but also on the clinical side is that what the device does is sufficiently new that it makes a difference for everyday practice.
Wow. Well, and that's so interesting because I think it's very rare we get to talk to people who were actually responsible for developing a piece of diagnostic equipment. Most of the time you meet people who are utilizing the equipment but not necessarily having the privilege of sitting across people that actually were part and parcel of the development of a particular technology or diagnostic equipment. How many languages then do you get to speak? Because you, from what I've noticed over the years, you travel all over the world. You from the Netherlands, or?
Yes, I am.
And that's where you're based most
Correct.
of the time.
Yes.
But you come across as someone who's diverse in a wide range of languages. How many languages do you speak?
At the moment 4, and I'm working on Spanish, my 5th language.
So what are those 4 languages that you speak?
So it's Dutch, English, French, and German, and hoping to add Spanish soon. And but yeah, it's such a privilege to, in this role that I have, is to travel across the world, meet so many people, and particularly in the optometry world, it's really a very pleasant kind of community of people, and it's absolute privilege to meet them.
With where eye care is right now, many companies are in the process of elevating the offering when it comes to diagnostic equipment.
Sure.
What is this piece of technology that's with us? What is it called, and what is it that it does. I got the privilege of seeing it in detail yesterday in terms of what it does.
Sure.
But we've got audience members from all over the world.
Yep.
And do you mind? Obviously, it would have been nice if we could show it on a computer screen,
Sure.
but I'm sure that will come at a later stage.
Sure.
But what is this equipment? What is it called,
Yep.
and what does it do?
So the company name is Eaglet Eye, and the product name is the Eye Surface Profiler. But I tell you that most people call it the Eaglet because of the company name, and which is, for us it's all the same. So what it does, it measures the full front surface of the eye, so not just the full cornea, limbus to limbus, but also up to 20 millimeters of, including the sclera. And this device is 100% focused on specialty contact lens fitting.
Okay.
So there is also in the software, there are algorithms that will match the front surface of the eye with the back surface of the lens, and then basically come up calculated based on about 500,000 data points of the front surface of the eye, come with the best fit of that specialty lens.
All right. Is it more suited for that experienced specialty contact lens practitioner, or would the beginner, since we're at the contact lens conference right now, we have a variety of optometrists. Some of them are interested in going into specialty contact lenses, others have been doing it for the last 10, 15 years and are more experienced. So if I'm starting out as an optometrist and I'm based in Australia, and I'm only starting now to focus on specialty contact lenses, would it be suitable for me to already start with this type of equipment? I think you called it Eduardo. Eduardo.
Yeah. So no, it's suited for both categories,
okay.
And we're very privileged to have very experienced users as our customer, but also beginners, because it's this 3D model of the front surface of the eye. It basically elevates your understanding of that surface of the eye, and really can help somebody who starts with specialty contact lens fitting in accelerating the learning curve and becoming proficient in fitting specialty contact lenses. But for example, here there's Dr. Melissa Barnett,
yes.
And she's been fitting scleral lenses on pathologic eyes for many years, and she's written books about it, published about it. She's truly an expert, and she's using our device, and she gets asked, so why you, Melissa? Why, you don't need this, surely, because you're teaching everyone how to do it. And she said, well, it allows me to do it even better,
Okay.
and to have better outcome, better patient visual acuity, better comfort for the patient, and gives me more control over the whole fitting process. And where it's needed, I can now go for a customized freeform lens. So it is for both groups.
Wow. What I love about it is how compact it is.
Thank you.
Most of the time, diagnostic equipment is very, it's quite huge, takes up a lot of space, but I like how this is so compact, and you can literally not be limited in terms of where you could place it in the examination room. The question that I wanted to find out from you is, in your experience with specialty contact lenses, why should optometrists be focused on taking the practice offering in that route? What are the benefits for the optometric practice and the practitioner in investing in themselves to be able to grow or expand their competency area, whether it be contact lenses, whether it be low vision, whether it be any other competency area, but specifically on the contact lens side of things? How does that actually benefit a practice from what you have experienced? Practices that perhaps when you started engaging with them, they were not doing specialty contact lens work, and they started it, and years later, when you see those practices, what's the importance of specialty contact lenses, if I can ask it that way?
That's a very crucial question, and so what we observed in the market, and also why we came with this device, is that around specialty contact lens fitting, there was a lot of experience needed. You needed to have the years of experience in order to become a proficient specialty contact lens fitters. And even then, it would require quite often a lot of refits until even a very experienced fitter would get to an optimal fit. And what we observed as well is that new graduates in optometry or opticians, the contact lens opticians,
Yes.
they were not really attracted into specialty contact lenses because they considered it as cumbersome, a lot of work, you know, a lot of chair time in order before you got your results. And so what we're trying to do, of course, with this device is reduce that chair time, empower the optometrist and contact lens optician to get to the result much quicker. And also expand the number of modalities, lens modalities, because some eyes might be best suited for an RGP, but others much more for custom soft or a hybrid, or on pathology cases, a scleral lens. So this device can do all of those modalities and lowers, well, we hope of course, lowers the barrier for entering into specialty contact lenses. And it should really be a profit center for any optometry practice. And somewhere with technology like this allows you to grow it. And you know, the market is constantly changing.
Absolutely.
There's always new things entering. There's always pressure on any optometry practice. So you always need to keep on evolving, keep on learning, keep on adding to your practice in order to thrive.
Yes.
And we sincerely hope that this is one pathway where optometrists can make their practices grow.
I love this because optometry is at different levels in different markets. And one thing that I picked up in South African market, for example, it's only in the last few years where optometrists are going in that route of enhancing the practice capacity from a clinical contact lens point of view.
Yeah.
So chair time is really a problem because of the economic situation that's in our country sometimes, and many other countries for that matter. So patients can't necessarily afford to keep coming back and spend so much money on the services that they need, right? So if we can be able to limit that chair time by ensuring that the optometrists are better equipped, better trained, so that they're spending less time doing remakes of something that they could have done it in 1 or 2 visits. So that makes a huge difference. But one thing that I picked up yesterday is that the technology of this equipment is compatible with a majority of lens companies. I think you mentioned something like 50 or more, and I don't think any other competitor products have that type of capacity. What did you guys do that made it possible? Or what was the focus behind being compatible with so many contact lens companies or contact lens manufacturers to make the option or the selection of choice easier for the optometrist?
So at the start of when we started this project, you need to make some strategic choices, and so we decided not to become a contact lens manufacturer in order that we could open up our platform to all of the lens manufacturers in the world, and create, of course, a software that can then connect with them. And so from the start, I've been knocking on the doors of all the lens manufacturers and trying to get them interested in this project to convince them of the value for them as well. Because they benefit from reduced refits as well, just as much as the optometrist does. And so we're extremely happy now to have 30 plus lens manufacturers connected, and as you mentioned, 50 plus lenses at the moment. But we're not done. We want to have for all people across the world that their locally available lenses are connected to the device.
When an optometrist buys this, does that mean that they have to let go of the other diagnostic pieces of equipment, or can it be complementary to what they already have?
It can be absolutely complementary. This device measures the front surface of the eye. It's purely focused on contact lens fitting.
Okay, so that's the main key focus.
That's our focus.
So you will still need other diagnostic equipment that will focus on the posterior surface of the eye.
For example, I would, a slit lamp is essential piece of kit to have. I know in certain countries people have switched more to OCT, but definitely, this is not going to replace all your devices at all. But as far as contact lens fitting is concerned, we aim this to be a one-stop shop where you can do all the lenses that you have available, and be very, very efficient with it.
Wow, it's actually been phenomenal, seeing what this equipment can be able to do, and the workshops that have been running at the conference. So thank you very much for taking time from your busy schedule, going all over the world, and being able to take time apart, take time out to be able to come to South Africa and impart us with your knowledge. It's really been a great pleasure having access to such equipment. What does the future of eye care look like for you? The next generation of optometrists that are coming into the market right now, they're coming into a marketplace where all these equipment are readily available.
Yeah.
But the previous generation of optometrists are still at the peak.
Sure.
In what way do you, from a person who's traveled the world,
Yeah.
exposed to different aspects of the industry, what can the new generation of optometrists do to differentiate themselves in becoming future icons and trailblazers of our profession?
I'd say that for contact lenses, what is absolutely going to happen is a shift from just custom to completely freeform lenses, to completely customized lenses. You can see that with sclerals already, and it's going to happen on ortho-K side, on the RGP side, and I would think in a couple of years we will see that on the soft lens side as well. So this is, I think, the big transition that is going to happen in the next couple of years. So it's really going to transform
You can come, sir. You can come and disturb us. Don't pretend like you don't want to come and disturb us. We know that you want to disturb us.
I will come in as Captain Contact Lens, sort everything out.
We actually, it's actually a privilege that you joined Arnoud and I, because we were actually giving insight on the Eaglet ESP software. So
Captain Contact.
Contact. What's your experience with this amazing technology? Because you ran the workshop.
I sleep with it in my bed.
Yes.
Captain Contact.
Captain Contact. Yeah.
Basically, at the end of the day, this has transformed specialty contact lens practice. This has made my life simpler and easier and more accurate, and therefore more efficient for our patients. It allows kind of one-shot wonder, one hit to get the first lens, whether it be a new patient or whether it be an existing scleral wearer, as long as you've got the preparation of the patient's tear flow and getting their ocular surface moist. It's not the best word in the world, but we like the word moist.
Yeah.
And as long as you have the preparation of the cocktail for good reflectance in the perfect way and consistent, and as long as you use two people for the best method of getting the profilometry, then this baby, who looks sexy, like Starship Trooper, it's like, the Starship Enterprise, and it's a he for me. This he will make your patient journey superb.
Wow. Which is exactly, it ties in with what you were saying on it, because it's to limit the time that we spend doing a lot of refits. And what you've just said actually summarizes what Arnoud was saying, because chair time is critical when it comes to that patient journey, especially on a specialty contact lenses.
It's important for everybody. It's really important for the patient because their experience of this new, scary, great bowl of plastic about to go in their eye isn't one of, oh, I can feel that one. Oh, it's uncomfortable. Oh, that's hurting. I can't see very well. And this allows that first choice to be just spot on.
I would have thought that, I guess it's a different case with you. A lot of optometrists sometimes have this approach that I'm comfortable with the equipment that I've been using, and for some strange reason, specialty contact lens practitioners who have been practicing since 1752, the way you talk about this piece of equipment, it's as if you've got no sense of complacency. Where does that come from? Where you feel like, as much as I already have this equipment, and you still say, you know what, this baby here, I'm going to invest in it because it's going to make my patient's life much easier. Where does that come from?
I have a list of things that I want even beyond where we are now.
Wow.
I mean, the thing going forward is aberrometry, so why would I not want aberrometer when it becomes feasible to do? It's kind of, this could be sexist, but it isn't really. It's boys and toys. I like a new toy, because there's something else to play with. I mean, who doesn't want,
Sorry.
no, it's fine to me, who doesn't want the best phone? You need an upgrade every couple of years, you upgrade the phone. Why would you never upgrade the equipment you have? Why would you never upgrade the contact lens you have? Even in the simplest of lenses, if there's better technology designed to make the patient more comfortable, wear longer, see better, why is it not adopted by everybody? Wow. Sitting there with what I already have because it works, I get sometimes, but the majority of people can be upgraded for a better experience. And these days, I mean, we talk about service, we talk about professionalism, but the patient wants to be excited and wow. And this is a wow.
Yeah.
And the images, which you can't see on this now, the images on the screen in front of that patient is theatre. We are actors, we are performing to our audience, and our audience is that patient, whether it be one or the carer or the parent or the wife, and they become then your patient because you've wowed them in the room, and they decide to come in. They bring their husband because he's got keratoconus, you wow them with this. The wife says, oh God, that's amazing, I must come and see you. Even though I'm not keratoconic, even though I'm not in trouble, I want to come because you're so passionate and you have toys that no one else has.
Wow. Thank you very much for that. You know, one thing that has stood out for me the most about you and your approach is that a lot of the times, I sometimes feel like companies that sell diagnostic equipment are in the business of just selling diagnostic equipment to the optometry practices, right? And then that's about it. What has stood out the most for me when it comes to you specifically is that you see yourself as part of that optometry practice. So you are there to hold the hand of the practitioner who's holding the hand of the patient, and you walking together the journey with them. And I think that's something that many people that are in sales, whether it be pharmaceutical sales, contact lens sales, equipment sales, can learn from, because not a lot of people do that. They've got this sense of, I'm going to sell this practice this, and then it's up to the practice to make it work. What I've picked up with the relationships that you are having with optometrists who are already using the equipment, that you are part and parcel of that journey, and what you have just said, the patient is part and parcel of the journey. So that's something that was
and it's
amazing.
incredibly important to have a brilliant relationship with every company you deal with. But Arnoud and Renier and Karen, they are part of the family. And if I'm honest, sometimes, because I don't work mathematically, I work kind of pictorially and a bit off the cuff. And this allows that to happen. But if I get in the shed, I'm going to ring Renier and say, what would you do now?
Yeah.
And that's always available.
Yeah.
We have WhatsApp groups, we have contact that's regular, they have the support button, they have all of those factors, and the team that the eagle's nest is part of the whole process.
Wow. Wow. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence here in South Africa. And thank you for joining our masterclass series. This is season 2. Remember, last year we did season 1 of the masterclass series, and you were one of our amazing guests there. So this is season 2, and thank you so much for just bombarding us with interrupting our conversation. We were having such a lovely conversation.
Well, I saw a camera. How can I possibly not want capturing contact lens on stage?
We're coming live from the Contact Lens conference here in South Africa. The theme of it is the Contact Connect conference, and it's been an absolute world-class conference. I'm sure the two of you have really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thank you so
learned.
much. And learned.
learned,
That's
yeah.
the thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I, that's what I love about you guys, is that you're not complacent in any way. You, as much as you are here to impart knowledge to us, you also are gaining so much. Even during the sessions, I get like amazed at how you would be challenging one another, and just because something is being said by someone else, another person brings up a different point of view, and then that becomes a discussion that everyone then leaves with a different perspective and new information that we can then all go back and implement that in our practices.
And we all have different patient bases and demographics and equipment and teams and processes and funding, and that is all part of the whole difference between us. So we do what works in our practice, and if we impart, all I say is this works for me, and if it works even in the smallest part for another practice in South Africa, awesome.
Right. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you're not connected with us on all social media platforms, your social media platforms?
BT Optom, very simple. Everything.
Everything.
Every platform available, especially TikTok is a new one.
And Arnoud, where can people connect with you?
academy.eagleti.com. This is where we have a lot of webinars, educational material, case reports, posters, anything you want to learn about the background and listen to our users, how they explain the device. Check it out.
Perfect. And if you're not yet subscribed to the Vision Straight YouTube channel, do so right now and connect with us on all social media platforms. Until the next amazing episode, stay tuned, guys.